It's no secret that in the Western world we live in, animation is often stigmatized to be associated with the content of young kids. But in Japan, cartoons are for everybody, for the young, old, and everyone in between. Studio Ghibli is often called the Disney of Japan, but they are so much more than that. Calling them that does an injustice to the world they forge with each stroke of a brush. In this video, I'm going to talk about Studio Ghibli, imagination beyond the frame. Studio Ghibli was founded in June of 1985 in Tokyo, Japan, and in its 32-year lifespan it has garnered massive success in both domestic and global film markets. They have spent years perfecting and crafting a formula that makes Ghibli films so, well, Ghibli. The movie's soundtrack, attention to details, ideas of grandeur, and their ability to bend and stretch the conventions of their medium makes every single frame extend past reality into the borders of imagination, leaving us wanting more. Boiled down, Ghibli films are targeted towards kids. Sure, adults watch them and get entirely different experiences, but at its core, the movies are meant to appeal to kids, and appeal to them they do. Most of the main characters of Ghibli movies are children. The protagonists aren't princesses with magical powers or extremely talented 7-year-olds. Often they're regular kids who just happen to find themselves in unknown lands and strange adventures. The characters provide a mirror to the spectator, reflecting off every quirk, creating a connection between audience and character, despite events unfolding seeming abstract and unrelatable. Every single Ghibli entity is given individuality, characterized through their subtle details. Each mannerism adds to the world building and essentially realism of Ghibli's films. The way Chihiro taps her foot to make sure that her shoes are snug, the way Satsuki and Mei run around, or the way Sosuke lifts up his shorts. Each individual adjustment breathes life. Ghibli films create the notion of worlds that are truly alive. In animation, you always start off with quite literally a blank page, so anything put on is a conscious choice made by the animator. Ghibli is excellent at world building through its portrayal of character stories happening in the background. When viewing a Ghibli movie, you don't have to focus solely on the protagonist's action. In many scenes, other characters are interacting with each other, the world they live in, and this attention to detail prods our imagination to think of what stories are being told in tandem with the one unfolding. This mastery level of world building infiltrates our minds and pushes our imagination beyond what is shown on screen. With the supposed decrease of attention spans with generations, Western movies seek to jam-pack movies, riddling them with jokes and action at every twist and turn. But Studio Ghibli films aren't like that at all. They give you time to connect with the world you see on screen. You could breathe in and out slowly and not worry about missing a moment. The perfectly paced films have not only managed to continuously captivate children's attention, but also provide nostalgia and a sense of serenity and calmness to anyone watching. The music of Ghibli films composed by Joe Hisaishi further accentuates this feeling of calmness and the desire to look to the skies and imagine the worlds that lay beyond the ones fabricated in our minds. The beautiful arrangements and symphonies intermesh with the stunning animation to create this perfect harmony of audio and visual that evokes a sense of wonder and amazement. In nearly all of Ghibli's films, there is a repetition of flight, the idea that soaring above the clouds brings adventure. This commonality is the reason for all the inexplicable vastness of Studio Ghibli movies. For stories that are very self-contained, the films leave an impression of worlds that are both physically and philosophically bigger than the characters. This idea that the universe is grand and immense is captured beautifully through aerial angles, wide and vacant framing, or stagnant shots. Each element fuses together to not just build a world but a cosmos, a cluster of stories, humanity, fantasy, and adventure. Films at their roots are meant to evoke specific emotional responses out of their audience, and through animation, Ghibli has proven that the medium thrives as a way to deliver far-reaching messages and can even hold up a mirror to reflect back humanity through fantastical tales. In the end, we are all left sitting staring at a screen with 4 corners, but Studio Ghibli seeks to change that. They endeavor that, if not for at least 1 second, you are transported not just to the world in front of you, but also to the corners of your very mind that stretch all the way forever.